Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAApodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Hello, you kings and queens, and welcome to episode 605 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. My name is Mason, and I will be your gallant host today as we have a bunch of birds outside just chirping their heads off because it's unseasonably warm in the middle of December, I guess early December, and I don't know why they're there, but I dislike them. So instead of hearing those chirps and my chirps, we're going to kick it around to my co-host today. First up, with a shining, glimmering 4-foot tree of insanity, we have Caroline. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. We talked a little bit about it on Hobby Axe today, but this is indeed a 4-foot tall tree that was once worth $200.
Oh my goodness, the lore of it.
I did not spend $200 on this tree. I got it for like $25. But look at the lights. Isn't that amazing? It's great.
I love it. I think it looks great.
It is very short though. I actually have it on a box right now and it still looks very short.
But hark, in the distance, it's not one voice I hear, but two, hailing all the way from Denver, Colorado, with their names on their little video feed on Twitch in the correct positions for once, taking a sultry swig of his beverage, is the dynamic duo of Mitsugi and Pancake. Welcome.
Ladies first.
What's up? Wild today.
Pancake's got diet ginger ale, okay, so settle down. Okay,
It's not that wild.
It's very exciting, I know. And I have Green Monster. It was the only thing that was on sale at Amazon, cheap enough to make it worth buying in bulk. So cheers to the Green Monster. Hey guys, I'm glad to be here. And it's unseasonably warm here in Denver too. We were talking about maybe climbing a mountain on Saturday in the middle of December. Because it's like 65 outside right now.
Oh dang.
It's really weird.
It was like, I almost unpacked my motorcycle the other day because it was so warm. I was like, there's no reason to have this thing put away. It literally is like spring out here in the middle of December, so.
Yep.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have all of you guys here. If you are actually watching the Twitch stream right now live, where we also stream it in the future every Sunday at 5 p.m. ish EST, where you can check out everything, you might see that there might be a little special guest joining us for a bit today, but we will get to that. More importantly, as always, gotta go through the whole iTunes, social media, Twitch, Discord, Facebook, and TikTok now. All the places we would love to have you check out and give us your input and stuff for future podcasts. You guys already know the drill, but we still love it and still love you guys. So today we have our main topic, which is Around the Anime Horn, a little kind of game show today where we are competing for the right to say whatever we want, which I guess it's a podcast. We always have that right, but it will be scandalously enticing to win today. So
yes, a whole minute, of which we have several minutes on this podcast every single week.
Exactly, but this minute counts for something. Followed by our review of the Mason selected Sonny Boy. So you're always ensured that you're going to have a wild ride when I pick a show. So we will see how that goes. But any other things before we kick this bad boy off?
Nope.
Not really. I'm just happy to be here, and what a weird anime Sonny Boy is. It's going to be an interesting conversation, and I think I'm going to learn more about what the anime was about from this conversation than I did from watching the anime.
Yeah, I need help.
Help
lot
us,
of
Mason.
Please. I was watching it, and I was like, do I need to rewatch the whole thing like 7 times to get it? Like, what can I do?
Nah, we'll figure it out. But I guess with that, let us jump to the big news of the week.
It's time for big news of the week.
All right. Well, my big news of the week, I found a pretty interesting. Well, I guess I don't know if it's interesting or not. I'm not going to spend much time on this. I'll put an image up on the Twitch chat for people who want to take a look at it. But real quick, Starbucks Japan is going to add popcorn and rum to hot drinks in the winter in Japan, which is super weird. They have a drink called the Kinema Cappuccino, which is a shocking $18.
What?
$18
God.
US. And I have it's got alcohol in it, and it's Starbucks. So I have the image up on the Twitch, but basically it's caramel popcorn added to a cappuccino drink with quote unquote specially crafted caramel sauce, the caramel popcorn, and the rum, and it's only available at select locations in Japan. So just picture yourself, if you can. It's like 20 degrees outside in Tokyo, snowing. Very rare, sort of. It doesn't snow much in Tokyo. And you can get this like hot cappuccino, caramel cappuccino with rum in it. That sounds so fucking good.
Yeah, at first I was like, ooh, popcorn in a drink, but then I remembered, like, you know what? That actually sounds really good.
It's $18. That's like
Yeah.
more than an alcoholic beverage at like a nice restaurant.
Yeah, so the actual price is 1,980 yen.
Yeah.
So that's pretty close to $20.
Yeah, that's just too much.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Starbucks.
Yeah, the actual the exchange rate's actually pretty favorable right now. It's actually it's like roughly 110 to the dollar. So your money goes 10% further in Japan than it does at some points in time. So, if we
Mitz
could,
was just trying to find a food item that I would not try for once, and he succeeded.
but they also, but Mason, they have
Yes.
a cinema cappuccino, similar name but different, priced at $12.
Okay.
That is the same thing but without the rum in it.
I mean, I just want the popcorn. 'Cause I don't drink coffee or alcohol. So, by our powers combined, I'll eat the popcorn. Pancake can... do you like caramel?
Not really. I actually.
Okay, you can have the rum. We'll have Caroline mainland the caramel, and I don't know, Mitz can have the actual like coffee part. I don't know.
I'll just
We'll
take
figure
the
out.
cup.
Starbucks,
figure
you
out-
can give Mason a call when you start just selling popcorn.
Yes, please. Just $18 of popcorn in a cup, and then now we're talking.
That's a big cup.
Yeah, it's only at select locations, so don't think you're gonna walk into like any Starbucks and find rum and drinks. It's only at certain places, so you gotta look for it. But they are selling it, and I think that's pretty wild. So,
Side tangent in big Starbucks news. In Chicago, they have the biggest Starbucks in the world that's open now, and they have an elevator that curves around.
Like Willy
It's
Wonka?
madness. It's like goes up a floor, but it's on a circle, so it's not a straight up and down. It like
So it's like a
wheels you around.
swirly
It
elevator.
is. It's
but it swirls
magical.
up.
It's like 5 floors. This thing is nuts. Anyway,
Damn.
Starbucks news over. How about you,
Yeah.
Caroline?
I didn't really have any big news. I just threw something in there that was fun. So, Caroline, you're up.
Okay, so this is not as fun. So some of you might have heard that, we were at Anime NYC. That was a lot of fun. Although now we are hearing that the second confirmed case of Omicron was a fellow con goer. So that really stinks. I mean, we all went to this con knowing the possibility of us getting COVID. Like, so many people are at this con, like tens of thousands of people. So, of course, there was going to be some sort of transmission of COVID there. I just thought it was really funny that the second confirmed case of Omicron went to this convention. It's almost as if, like, the one time that anime fans go out and breathe outside air for this convention is the time we get sick.
How dare you?
Yeah,
do that?
and now it's all in the news of like anime
Yeah.
fans ruining America, and we're like, I mean, we knew that, but now we objectively know it.
Wow.
The hikikomoris were right, apparently.
Indeed.
So
I've been
yeah,
training for COVID for years.
Yeah, the hikikomori. It's not really that funny, but like the hikikomoris have been training for COVID for a long time. They're like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's like, well, who gives a fuck?
Oh well.
This sounds like
Yeah.
a scene from oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the anime of the guy who is a shut-in. He's freaking out, and there's a really great opening song puzzle. What am I thinking? Welcome to the NHK. This sounds like a Welcome to the NHK episode where like the first 12 episodes he stays inside and he finally goes out to be social and he gets COVID and he is like the cause of a massive like nationwide panic. But
Yeah.
this is not like a joking matter and it's not like that funny. It's yeah,
It's a
be
little
safe,
funny.
people. Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
little funny.
we've had dealt with COVID for the past year and a half, almost 2 years now. It's kind of come to the point where we can joke a little bit about it, as long as we're not talking directly of horrible things that happen because of it. Oh, sorry.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, so with in terms of trying to prevent transmission at the convention, pretty much everyone that I saw was wearing a mask. It was pretty well followed. You
Mhm.
also had to have at least one COVID shot or vaccination shot. Although I did hear that like you could have gotten that shot yesterday and then gone to the convention the day after, and that's not enough time for it to take effect. So yeah, that was But yeah, so you did have to have your shots. You had to wear a mask like anywhere else in New York City. If you're inside, you have to wear a mask. But it was shoulder to shoulder, crowds beyond you can imagine. So obviously we all knew like this wasn't exactly, a tight prevention matter. So it's, we kind of knew what we were going into.
You were a
The
human
Minnesota
jelly
band
mold
that,
of virus.
what was that?
You were a human jelly mold of virus, basically.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean-
That's gross.
Just like that concert we went to.
Yeah. Ugh.
That's the audio people come to this podcast.
Yeah,
for.
exactly. So the man who had Omicron, he's from Minnesota. He met with like 30 of his friends from all across the country. 15 of those friends have tested positive for COVID, though uncertain if it was that variant. And he was fully vaccinated. He had his booster shot like a couple weeks before the convention. So he had all of those prevention matters taken care of, and he still got it. So that just shows you it can always happen. He displayed mild symptoms after the convention, and he has since recovered from them. So that's great. And the attendees of the convention, again, we're all, required to be vaccinated, wear masks. But according to the event organizers, there have been no other like mass cases reported from the event. It's already been 2 weeks since the event, so we would probably know if this was going to be a massive issue. So that's good. Though people are still saying, oh, you should probably get tested, which actually I got tested today, so checked that off the list.
Yeah,
And,
get my
that's basically
booster in like 3 days. So
Yeah.
neat.
And that is what's happening in the world of COVID and anime. Woo!
Gotcha. Well, just in the world of anime merchandise, my big news is that the world's biggest anime shop is coming in 2023. So maybe a good time to return to Japan. Maybe by then things will be open. Let's hope.
Okay.
That's the plan, brother.
Oh my
It's been the
gosh.
plan for the last year. So, Japanese store chain Animate announced on Friday that its main Ikebukuro store, a store that both Mitz and I have been to,
Oh, yeah.
even together, will expand to become the quote-unquote world's biggest anime shop. The expanded store will have its grand reopening in the spring of 2023 and will coincide with Animate's 40th anniversary, and it will be just an expansion on the current store. So, legacy from present to the future, and yeah, I enjoyed Animate. It's not like just a typical like I don't know, Akihabara store of just figures. Like as you go different floors up, it has like different sections from like cosplay
yeah.
to like magazines to figures. Like they're just a bunch of fun and a good time, and I'm excited to return one day.
Japan really loves to, especially in Tokyo, like they have these shops and the individual floors are so tiny because there's just not enough space on the street for all the businesses, and it's just like, but you can bet with some certainty that all these shops are at least 4 to 6 floors tall because it's like if you have no room to really grow the city outwards, you just build it up, kind of like what Singapore or Hong Kong does, except Tokyo has tons of land. It's just by far the biggest city in the world, so it's just like kind of like this monster. But yeah, all these shops are pretty neat. But I'm going to Japan in 2023. I think, regardless of what COVID does. Like, I mean, It ain't gonna
Regardless
quit
if Japan has brought down its borders, nobody can enter. Like, you'll be shot on the site. Mitsugi will be going to Japan.
He'll swim it. He'll swim it.
Well, if I can't enter the country, I can't enter the country. But like COVID isn't gonna quit mutating. So it's like I'm just I can't wait forever. It's I'm fucking going. So it's I don't know. It is what it is. So. But if I can't go, I can't go. I don't want to be shot on sight. That's one thing.
That's a little aggressive.
Zero Rokyo in the chat says, I think I was at that store. Is that the one that was, or is Otomi Road Central? I think that's near it. It's Ikebukuro. I don't think it's this Animate. There's another name of a store nearby. I think that is the part of the main Otomi district, but I could be wrong. So... it is what it is. That's all I had for the big news.
We are definitely struggling with our mic here. It's
Yeah, so this is Pancake and Mitz are trying to share a microphone today, and this is usually one that Mitz gets all up and sensual over. So we'll see how
really close
that
to this
sound
mic.
changes. Yeah, exactly. That's how they know and
We're
love
gonna
you.
get some Pancake ASMR.
Just whispering into the
Oh no! Not mouth noises. Oh my
delete,
god! Okay.
delete, erase it all.
Moist.
Oh no.
Oh my god. All right. Well, we do have a game to play today. So it is a game that is. The concept is stolen from ESPN. A lot of people that have watched ESPN at any point in the last 20 years, or maybe even longer, has heard of the game Around the Horn. So we are going to be playing a game of Around the Horn right now, and we have a special guest to bring on to do that game. So, Mason, I don't know how you make this magic work with the microphone, but
I made it work.
wrong drop.
Aw.
It's time for Anime Around the Horn. Featuring special guest host, the purveyor of Gundam, the Frigimon fanatic himself and friend of the podcast, it's Andrew.
It's your floor, Andrew. We're just the game contestants in your world today.
Okay, so I realized by putting on these glasses, I'm having like that whole kind of Gendo thing going, except for not as cool because it's not like
Yes.
fully white.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna like keep them off so you can
So
see
I'm just
like
gonna
my.
be fucking blind.
Yeah. No. These don't actually have lens. These aren't real lenses.
Oh, that was even
Aw.
cooler.
You're a fake
Yeah, they're just-
nerd.
You're
Uh,
fake.
Yeah, I mean, it's. You know what? That's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about my Disney glasses. We're here to talk about anime and topics and such of the things that exist. So I hope you all are ready. I hope you all have your talking gloves on and your mouth ears open and all that fun crazy stuff because it's about to get wild in a very hold on. I was gonna say consensual, but that's not the word I wanted to use. In a very
Oh my, he is
manner.
getting sexual in here.
Well, I hope everything's
in a very-
consensual.
you know that
Should I take my pants off? I feel like I
God.
should take my
I'll take
pants
mine off. I'm wearing Pikachu. I'm wearing Pikachu pajamas, and they're a little hot.
hold on.
No,
Are you
no.
actually wearing
Mitsugi.
pants mitts? What is
I
it?
Didn't
am,
you
I'm
say
wearing
before
pants.
that you
That
sometimes
is
don't wear
what-
pants?
Yeah, he will be podcasting or working from home just in his underwear. That's it.
In his tidy whities?
Tidy whities, holding all his junk
I
super
wear
high up.
I wear Tommy John. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it is the greatest underwear. Just kidding. Not
Has been
no-
confirmed.
Just kidding. Not really.
Okie dokie. All right, so I don't know how I'm doing the introduction of things, but today we're playing Around the Horn. So people are going to be talking about, we have, I think, 6 topics. I don't know if we're going to get through all of them, but we're definitely going to get through a bunch of them. And from what I understand, you're all going to talk, and I'm going to give you points, and I'm going to give you points based on how good your argument is. So for the first round, I'm going to probably be a little bit more liberal with points because I don't know what I'm going to consider a good argument. It's all going to be relative, so I'm just going to be straight up and honest about it right off the bat. But as I go on, I might become a little bit more of a tight ass, just so you know. So you're gonna like really have to impress me, and I'm a judgmental bitch, so like it's gotta be good.
Oh.
So you're keeping score, right, Andrew?
Yeah. I mean, everyone's all over the place, so I'm gonna try my best to like keep the score. And I say all over the place. I have like a piece of paper with names.
Nice.
And,
That's fantastic.
Aw,
so it's
he's
gonna be
prepared.
great. I'm gonna like mark check marks, and I'm just gonna be like, so do I just go like 1 point, 1 point, 2
Like,
points?
as we're talking, I think you'll be like, that was a good point. 1 point, 1 point. And then,
Okay.
10 points to Gryffindor.
Yeah, as long as it
Exactly.
doesn't like distract you.
And if we're getting a little feisty or a little uncontrollable, you can just be like, "You done," and just
Time
like,
out.
yeah, put
Your shit
put
is
us on
frozen.
ice.
Okay.
Is that what you're gonna make? Your shit is frozen.
That's the drop. That's your
Yeah.
your froze. See, in the TV show, they would literally freeze your screen in black and white for like 5 minutes. But all I have is
Okay.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
We're not that
So-
technical, so.
I need y'all to like bring up your energy level so that to Mitz's level. Otherwise, it's gonna just like be relatively like this thing where I'm just like, Mitch is
Don't
just so much more
fucking
passionate than all of
vibe
you.
check us.
Are we really lower than this curmudgeon?
Yeah, like what the
I mean, he's
fuck?
licking his monster
Yeah, I'm
bottle
totally-
right now. Like,
You
You gonna
surprised I'm
fucking fight
vibe
you?
checking?
Jesus.
Well, first of all, when was the last time you said hi? I mean, it was a couple of days ago, but that's not the point.
Wow, he just called you out. He just said,
When
he
are
said,
you ever around to say
Pancake,
hi?
You're not as good of a breakfast food as you thought you were.
Shut the fuck up.
I had
It's-
pancakes today.
He's just being
Banana pancake.
fucking sensitive. I sent him a message the other day.
Yeah.
So you
to
can
be-
calm down, or I will come across this table. You're welcome.
You're always welcome across this table, just so you know. All right, so we should get into this. Let's go. So who wants? Do I just decide randomly who's gonna start?
Yeah,
I feel
just
like we
you're
should
gonna you're
each
running
start
the
a
show.
different place.
Throw anyone under the bus for any question at any time.
We'll go clockwise, and after 6 questions, I guess it's after 5 questions. We don't have 8 questions. After the 5th question, we are going to eliminate the 2 people with the lowest score, because that's how you would do it on the TV show. Dun. And then
Okay.
whoever has the best score at the end gets to have the floor off to themselves for a minute to talk about whatever they want, as if that wasn't what this podcast is already, as Caroline has already noted.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was just like, don't you guys do this on a weekly basis? But you know what? I just love being on, and I have things to say when we're all done here. So let's go. Let's all have some fun. Let's be rowdy and raucous, but also respectful. So, first topic of the hour. Given the arguable failure of the Cowboy Bebop live action, should studios just give up on making live action anime adaptations? Caroline, go.
Oh, okay. So I would be under the opinion that they should not give up on live action adaptations, because while anime fans might despise it, here's the thing. They open up the surrounding people on the edge of anime and of live action and say like, hey, this sounds kind of familiar. Is this an anime or something? I don't know. I don't really watch anime. And then if they go into it and they're like, hey, that was kind of okay, maybe I should check it out. Maybe I should see the actual thing. It kind of brings more people into our circles. It doesn't necessarily push them away. They'll just think like, oh, that was not good. And if it was good, then they'll bring him in. They'll expand the fandom. And even if it's not all that great, it's not as if we think about these live actions every day of our lives. It's not necessarily ruining the franchise that we all know and love. We'll just forget about it tomorrow.
Point.
Caroline doing pretty well. Wow.
Got to bring it in hot. Got to get these points while he's being generous with them.
Gotta get those points when you can go first and eat up all the easy points.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Like, it will be easy for the first person to go.
All right, so Andrew,
Clockwise.
clockwise. So I guess Mason's next.
Mason.
Yes, we should not give up on live action adaptations for all the points Caroline mentioned, but most of all, they're not hurting anyone. The studios that are doing these live actions are not taking funds or people or personnel or staff away from making the anime themselves that we enjoy. They're only bringing people in. I literally saw someone watching the Cowboy Bebop live action on the plane back from Chicago to Connecticut. And I was like, ooh, I really wanted to ask her, have you watched the original? But I didn't want to be that guy, so I didn't. But that's getting off the point. That's another point. I snuck that in. So yeah, there's no harm in live actions. Despite as bad as they might be, I think people can understand that this live action would not be like emblematic or representative of the anime they're coming from, and might be smart enough to, if they're willing to give it a shot, even push into the medium, even if they weren't the biggest fan of the live action. So yeah, it's not hurting anyone. Keep them up.
All right, Pancake, you're up next.
They should definitely stop making live actions because
Point.
they're all fucking garbage. I have not seen a single good live action. Do we even talk about Detective Pikachu anymore? Do we?
Point.
No. That's fucking dead. Did anybody give a fuck about the live action shit that got on Amazon besides Cowboy Bebop? No. No, nobody did. You're not hearing about it. It's all garbage. It always looks bad. You just disappoint fans and you anger true anime fans that watched the real thing. And just
Point.
It's just betrayal, almost. Use your money to make better anime.
Point.
I mean, that's all I can say.
All right, Mitz, your turn.
She's so savage. It's just brutal. You know, I don't think we should give up on making live actions. Honestly, I think that the live actions all have their own problems. It's honestly up to the artistic interpretation of the people that are making the given show. You know, so you have some people will and will not like the live action Cowboy Bebop. Some people will and will not like the live action Rurouni Kenshin. But you know, but I think you're accomplishing a few things here by having a live action to begin with. One, you're reminding old fans of anime that these animes are out there, and you are introducing potentially some fans to anime for the first time, including people that are already anime fans to begin with, like Caroline had never seen Cowboy Bebop, and I'm assuming she will go watch Cowboy Bebop now because of the live action. Mason shaking his head.
Actually, it
no.
sucks so bad. I don't even want to touch Cowboy Bebop with a 10-foot stick.
You can take points away, by the way, Andrew.
I'm
Also-
joking.
Am I okay? Minus
No,
one.
that was a joke.
Okay, have you
and-
watched the anime yet, Caroline?
Not yet, but I haven't.
Minus
had
a
the time,
point. Minus
but
that
I
point.
will.
Minus
I'm
that.
sorry.
I'm not calling you out.
I'm sorry, you haven't watched Cowboy Bebop. Minus one.
What?
And-
No, are you serious?
Her
He's serious.
ass.
In some
That's not
cases,
fair.
in some cases, the live action is going to give money to the studio that has licensing rights for it. So for Cowboy Bebop, I don't have numbers on this, but I'm assuming that Studio Sunrise was in some way involved in the creation of the live action. I'm sure they own the rights to it, so you know they're probably getting some scratch out of that. And so honestly, we shouldn't give up on live actions just because something like Cowboy Bebop is not a huge hit for everybody. Some people will enjoy it, some people will not, but it's the exposure that really matters. And you know, seeing people's artistic, spreading their artistic juices, for something into a different medium. So I think it's worthwhile.
Good.
Artistic juices. Is that consensual
You
thing?
like that? You like
he was
that?
talking about? Also, regretting the fact that none of us said, "Oh, I like a live action."
Yeah, so
Could
I
I-
want to take a point away from all of you for first of all not mentioning how great the Death Note live action is. Secondly,
Oh my god.
Could I add in more, or is it just once around the horn, right?
is it just once around?
I think it's just once.
I think it's just
Yeah.
once. I'm not really sure how it goes on the show completely, but I think it's
It's-
just yeah.
If you have another point, you can make it. I don't think you should get more points for it, but yeah, go for
Ouch.
it. If there's something that you want.
Well, for another thing, if we talk so much about how bad the live action was, we inevitably talk about how good the original was. And with that, you know, the conversation keeps going. Like, when was the last time that people were talking a whole lot about Cowboy Bebop? It's kind of probably been a while. And with the live action, here we were talking about Cowboy Bebop just last week. And we made a lot of great points on what was so great about the original. And so that just continues a good conversation and it just brings us more attention to what we liked about it in the first place.
Good stuff. I'll let you recover that point I took away from not watching Cowboy Bebop.
Okay,
Because
I'll take it.
I'll give you
And
that. All right.
For the record, the erased live action on Netflix is pretty good. I mean, it is kind of like a one-to-one to the manga, but the anime also changed the
Okay,
ending.
you got your point. You don't need to
Oh no,
keep
I just
going.
want
Yes.
to. I just want to shine a light. Sorry.
All right.
Let's start with Mason this time because we don't want to let the
Yeah.
first person always have the first points.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everyone's tied right now, by the way.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so y'all gave some, this was a pretty simple topic. It was good. Y'all gave some points. There was some dissension. I like that. Let's go on to topic 2. Should we have fewer anime made per season in favor of consolidating? Clearly, I don't use that word very often. Consolidating talent resulting in fewer but better anime. Mason, start.
Well, I made that point in the previous argument saying that these studios aren't taking talent away from other studios, so it's not hampering the production of anime. And here, we have all this talent being divided up across all these studios. That said, I don't think we should have fewer anime made per season. I think what anime used to be and where it is now, certainly more anime is coming out each year, but what anime means as not just being so regimented into isekais or mecha or the trends of the eras. I feel like anime has emerged and blossomed to have the ability for me to smack my microphone. So many different genres coming out in each season where you kind of need all this stuff to appeal to all the demographics that come to anime for a show.
Point.
There is so many different things that anime can provide now, from idol shows, from philosophical twisting things like Sonny Boy, to all this other stuff that we've been reviewing, where if we, limit that for the sake of having less shows, I think there's less options out there. And honestly, as much as it stinks to say people are overworked and studios kind of aren't having the best work-life relationships, so many people do want to do anime. There's an influx of people and creatives helping out. So it's not like we're just overworking them because companies are bad. It's not because there's so many shows coming out. It's kind of the number of shows is not resulting in the bad treatment we're seeing. So more anime, I don't know if we can handle much more, but I don't want less.
All right. Pancake.
We definitely need to consolidate because you can't seem to have a conversation about something of the season because there's so many. Everybody's watching different things, so the community is more spread out, not as close, in my opinion. Because you could mention something from the summer and they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I only watched this during the summer. The quality of some of them, like the water polo boys we just talked about a couple weeks ago, the animation could have been so much better maybe if they had waited, and that was one of maybe 2 other that they were releasing that season.
Point.
It's just holding I think back honing the skills to improve anime as well, because if you're spreading everybody so thin, they can't work solely on a project to make it perfect, and then you don't improve. Everything's just gonna look like trash because that's what we expect.
Point. All right, Mitz.
All right, I got a couple points here I got to make. I got to get something off my chest here.
Oh.
If I have to read one more article about how Madhouse or Bones or Mappa is just abusing the shit out of their employees, I'm going to shed some tears. And I can't really shed tears because I got LASIK done and my eyes are so dry that they're like little pumice rocks. I can almost bring my heel up to my eyeball and
3 points
and get the dead skin off my eye with my off my heel with my eyeball. And that's a pretty weird thing to see. It's almost like a dog licking itself, and you don't want to see me do that. But listen, less people, less anime is going to put a lot less stress on the workers. Maybe you don't even need to have as many workers to make those anime. You can give more money to each individual person when you have less headcount working on fewer anime.
Point.
And listen, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. If you go down the street to some restaurant, do you want to go to the restaurant that has the 1 or 2 really good things that are on the menu? Mason's I want to go to Popeye's Chicken because that Popeye's Chicken sandwich is fucking great. But it's yes, you want to go to the restaurant to get those few items that are so good. It's you don't go to the restaurant to get oh, look at this big menu. Oh, I can just tell everything on this menu is a big pile of shit. It's like, no, nobody wants to go to a restaurant like that. You want to go to the restaurant
points.
with the good hot wings. You want to go to the restaurant that has the good chicken, has the good hamburgers, etc. And you're not going to bring people into the anime community unless you have more shows like Demon Slayer that are knocking people's shoes off. No one's jumping into anime for Remain, which was, by the way, like the 4th show that Mappa was making that season. I wonder why. Maybe that show wasn't that good. Maybe it looked like ass because they had their D team on it. You know what I mean? There just aren't enough people.
Okay, Caroline.
Okay, going off of that food comparison, because we all love our food comparisons, I kind of like to think of the not-so-great shows of the anime world as fast food, because sometimes you'll go for them, sometimes you don't. You kind of have to be in the mood for it, because, bad anime is... There is a place for bad anime. We all gather around to watch a bad anime in a group watch. We play drinking games to bad anime. We laugh about bad anime, and we will talk the heck out of bad anime. We watched the whole 3 episodes of X-Arm because people want us to talk about bad anime as much as we talk about great anime. And back to the whole food thing. If bad anime are fast food restaurants, the great anime are the Michelin star restaurants. And you kind of need both in your life. You can't be constantly eating fast food, but you also can't be eating a ton of gourmet food. You don't have the resources for that. Not all anime studios have the resources to make like top tier anime every season. And furthermore, here we go into talking about the all the animators that are making this bad anime. Some of them are probably just unexperienced, and they need that experience of making crap in order to make something great. When we look back into our school days, when we're making, if you are in, I don't know, like film school, looking back at your first film, you're thinking like, oh, this is so horrible. Nobody's going to want to watch this. But it's because you made that bad stuff, you've learned how to make great stuff. And then there's also the fact that it could, we don't know this for certain, but if we suddenly take away all the not so great anime from a season, we obviously have less anime to watch, but there's also less anime for them to produce. And with that, there will be a lot more competition for those animators to get jobs, because there's not as much stuff for them to work on. Which, I mean, you could say like, oh, they'll just go to those other studios and make great anime, but like you can't just have more people on a job and expect it to sustain itself. So with that, I've made my case.
All right, good. I think we've learned a few things this round, so that's good to know, such as analogies do help make stronger points.
We gotta do some more food analogies.
I learned that Caroline's a masochist. She wants to have X-Arm and some of these other shows in the pool.
It's like, good when fast food once in a while.
X-Arm saved anime. You heard it here.
If X-Arm didn't exist, then our podcast listeners wouldn't have anime to troll us with and make us watch for listeners' choice.
It brings them joy. It does not bring us joy, but it brings them joy.
Wasn't X-Arm that anime with the really bad subtitles that were like, I want you inside me now and shit?
Yes.
Oh my god. That shit is fucking terrible.
Baby.
Oh my god.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. I just want to ask Andrew if there's any like big like grading points that you're like, wow, why didn't they say this? Feel free to like.
Oh yeah. No, you guys were actually pretty good on this topic. Don't worry. If I have comments, I'll make comments.
Gotcha. I was going to say, feel free to.
Oh, I feel like...
Mitch is whipping y'all's ass. I know that right now.
For now.
That's what I thought.
This is a big topic coming up here.
Oh, man, good point,
This could
Mitch.
be a huge swing.
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
No.
come on.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Isekai. Entertaining boon or monotonous drain or anime creativity? ? Pancake, go.
Isekais
Tell us how you really feel.
are really fucking garbage. It's rinse and repeat. It's some fucking pathetic ass motherfucker who gets hit by Truck Coon and gets sent to another world.
Point.
It's just the same shit over and over. Oh, there's the big titty bitch. He's gotta wrap her up, take her along on the journey. She's useless, but there's the big titties. distract
Point.
from not having any real plot, or it's just monster of the week. Oh, who are we fighting this week? Oh, I'm super strong. Oh my god, here's some big titties. That's it. Over and over again. It's the same shit. You could be a slime, you could be a fucking shield hero guy with like a raccoon woman following him around. It could be
Spider, anything.
just insert pathetic man plus big titted bitch. The end.
Point.
Every time. I'm just angry.
You have so much anger, like inside.
I mean, like, you gotta like this is like, you need to like raise that anger level up before I start muting. Like, you're not even hitting muting levels of anger. Like, you gotta get me there. Come on.
Oh my god.
All right, Mitz, it's your
I
turn.
don't want me
Yeah.
to get that loud.
Okay, listen. If you go to my anime list right now and you punch in the fall 2021 season, and you look at the list here, what's number 2? What is the number 2 most watched anime? What is the highest rated anime of the season? Oh, it's Jobless Reincarnation season 2. Let's go back in time for a second here. Let's check summer 2021. Oh, what is the number 1 anime of that season? Oh, it's the Slime anime season 2. Wow, that's
Yeah, you know
so
why? 'Cause
shocking.
there's big titty bitches.
Oh, you can freeze her out whenever you want.
Hey, watch it.
If you go back another season, if you go back to the winter from 2021, what is one of the highest rated and one of the most watched anime of that season? Oh, it's Jobless Reincarnation season 1. And then the Slime anime is on there too, and ReZero. They're all like in the top 7 because people are addicted to isekai anime. It's all we have, okay?
Points.
It's if you take out the isekai anime, you're literally like drifting in this like this what the fuck's the anime we're gonna watch today? The Sonny Boy
Sonny Boy.
void of
Sonny Boy.
shit. You're just gonna like waft through this void of shit. And honestly, these anime are bringing in a shitload of money to the anime studios that work on them. They're making a ton of money on merchandising. They're bringing more people into the anime fold because when you walk down the street and your friend talks to you and he says, "Oh my god, I got this really exciting new anime," you know what he's not telling you to go watch? Sonny Boy. You know what he is telling you to go watch? He's telling you to go watch this fucking crazy anime where this guy he was born as a slime and now he turns into this kid and he's got all these big titty bitches. We like some big titty bitches. You're bringing more anime into the fold. You are, and honestly, it's what people want. Give them what they want. I see no reason. And they know that, and that's why isekai keep coming out season after season because it's making more money than anything else, maybe except for shonen.
Caroline.
Okay, so I'm under the impression that isekai can be a little bit monotonous, I will say that. But it does allow for a large amount of creativity, and in fact. In what other genre can somebody be turned into a hot tub? In what other genre can somebody be turned into a slime? Or a 100-year-old witch that has maxed out her points and is now trying just to live a normal and easygoing life, and so on and so forth. And with that, Mitsugi, I know you brought up Sonny Boy. Is Sonny Boy not the most isekai you have ever seen? They are literally traveling from 100 different worlds constantly. It's an isekai. It's a whole isekai. And with that, you can see that isekai actually, trespasses many different genres, and can be very different because here we have, Sword Art Online, and then you have, Sonny Boy. You also have Drifters. You also have Bofur. You also have Log Horizon and Goblin Slayer and so on and so forth. And a lot of them are not very similar to each other because they take the isekai idea and then they put their own spin on it. And when you're in school and you are tasked with making a short story, a fictional short story, and you have no ideas whatsoever, you will manage to create your best ideas when given limitations. If you have to be killed and sent to another world, that already gives you the foundation to make a very good story. But if you are just told, make an anime, you have no idea what to do, and you are probably not going to come up with anything.
Okay, I'll give you a point.
Can we take some points away from Caroline for listing off several anime that were not, in fact, isekais in her discussion about isekais? Namely Bofuri, and I don't think Goblin Slayer is an isekai either.
Isn't
No, Goblin Slayer isn't an isekai, actually.
Oh, okay, okay.
Neither is Bofuri. It's an MMO
Bofuri,
game.
I will Bofuri is
It's
like
an
kind of an
argument to-
isekai because
Yeah.
it's sort of like VR, like sort of like how Sword Art is sort of an isekai. But
Man,
anyway, I'm not here to like.
Man, they're not even
trapped.
they're not even trapped in Bofuri like a la dot hack. They're just like they're just addicted.
I mean, they kind of spend a week in game time there, like doing things.
I will say that my list was not perfect,
Fuck
but
it,
I was
I'm
just
out.
going off the top of my head.
I'll let this one slide, but you're on warning.
You're on thin ice, about to be frozen.
You're on Yuri on Ice, which is
I'll
also
keep
not
that
an
in
isekai. Mason, your turn.
Oh man, I'm trying to figure out what if I want to try to stay positive this entire episode because someone brought up Trek-kun earlier. Isekai is very much like Trek-kun in that it's the country music of anime genres. Like, yeah, to say it's bad just because it's country is to discount all the folk and great heritage that it has to offer. That said, Caroline mentioned, it can be a shorthand to help, limitations and give you things. And like, what other genres could you possibly have this vast cavalcade of weird things happen? Literally any other genre of anime. The whole point of anime is that, well, not the whole point of it, but it is the most open concept and ways to tell stories that, transcend the themes of live action and things like that. And isekai draws in people who are coming in because they know it's a hot ticket item and filling those stories with the most lazy, uncreative, slapdash things. Not to say all of them are bad, but it brings in a type of writing and audience who is just looking for more of the same. And which is why isekai is not bad by itself, but it breeds a stale way of storytelling that I think frustrates non-isekai fans because we see all this potential and great animation and cool concepts squandered on just the most banal writing that just saps life out of the worlds that they create. And so often we see an isekai and we're like, why couldn't this have just been a fantasy? And that wouldn't have made it better or worse. It just is the starting a story is the hardest part, and to just go with, well, now you're somewhere else, wow, isn't that new and interesting, gets old really quickly. So many things are good in isekai. So many great stories have happened there, but it is tiresome at this point and a monotonous drain on the industry.
Okay. Interesting. So, like, observations. I wasn't... Mason, you started here, and then you kind of, like...
Yeah. I
went
played
there,
both sides.
And I'm just like, interesting. Pancake, bring me that fire. I know there's some fire deep in you. You're gonna like crush it, like, and pull out this thing. I'm just gonna be like, 5 points, which is not a thing. But
Oh shit! I have to play a lot of drops.
Mitz, loving the energy. Caroline, you got this. Stop being so nervous. Just argue like you want to argue.
What?
I like this coaching. I enjoy it. It's making us better. Thank you.
I'm here to improve all of our performances.
Point for
Except for
Andrew.
mine, I'm perfect. So, moving on. Number 4, except for I can't say consolidate, apparently. What defines a good anime? Is it about quality or is it about enjoyment? Mitz, you start.
I have a tough time with this question because I almost resent the question because I don't really know if you can separate something like quality and enjoyment. I mean, I think that the question is more like does a high quality anime indicate that you're going to have more enjoyment? I mean, if I sit down and I'm watching like a thought out quote unquote quality anime, as I'm sure the question dictates, like something like Sonny Boy, sure, it might be high quality. They put a lot of thought into it, but was it enjoyable? For me, we'll find out. I think for most people, maybe not. It's a little too nebulous, a little too hard to understand. But listen, I'll tell you right now, what defines a good anime is when I put on My Neighbor Totoro in front of a bunch of 6-year-olds and they're literally glued to it for a solid 100 minutes like it's some kind of an addictive drug, and I'm sitting back there in the back like getting work done because all these little kids, the easiest babysitting job you're ever going to do. That is a good anime. Okay, when you go to school and kids are talking to their high school friends about how amazing My Hero Academia is, it's spreading like this wildfire amongst all the people because it's so good. People can't quit talking about it. That's what makes a good anime. Is My Hero Academia high quality? The animation maybe not that great. It's a shonen. Like you could use One Piece as an example. Animation not great. One Piece is still hanging around. We're still watching it. Clearly, a lot of people are enjoying it, even though the animation quality is not that high. So I would say clearly it's more about enjoyment. No one is going to be spending tons of money and watching things in mass quantity simply because it's thoughtful. Otherwise Crunchyroll's top 10 list wouldn't be routinely nothing but shonen shows time and time again. You don't even bother reading those articles. It's always shonen shows, which are inevitably like low quality animation shows.
They're good, but they're low quality.
They're
Caroline,
enjoyable.
Go.
All right, so Mitsugi basically said everything I was going to say, but I will do my best to add to that. Because I do believe that a good anime is about enjoyment. If you are watching an anime that has ticked all the right boxes, looks good, sounds good, everything is good, but it doesn't interest you and it doesn't have that special sauce, then it's not going to be a good anime to you. And I think good is, of course, objective, and it always will be. So if a person is not thinking about the quality of something, they're always thinking about, do I actually like this? Will I continue with it? Nobody's going to force themselves to watch something that has a lot of quality to it and like good production values if they are not having a good time with it. And with that, we could talk about all the shows that look like garbage and sounds like garbage, but we still have a fun time with it. And that will include all of the bad anime that we talked about earlier, like X-Arm and all that stuff. If people love how janky it looks and will laugh at it, then they will define that like, oh yeah, I had a good time with that.
Okay, I'll give you a point there for that entire argument, not for that last specific point, but
Caroline deserves 2 points for doubling down on the claim that she is indeed an anime masochist. Bring that terrible animation. I love it. Bring the
Everybody
pain.
needs a little bit of terribleness.
I mean, I'll allow it. It's smart.
Oh, I said objective before. I meant subjective. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was just like
thinking, like, what does it mean again?
Yeah, it's like, no, it's the other one. I know
We knew
it's the
we
other
knew
one.
what you meant.
Caroline deserves 2 points for that tree in the background. That thing is popping off.
I mean, I'll take the 2 extra points.
It's in my bonus slot right here at the bottom right of my paper that you can't see.
Tiebreaker.
Yeah, so if there is a tie, you will basically get 3 points.
Oh.
Not 3 points, but 3
3
points.
Very good.
No
Oh
H.
Like that.
Alrighty, Mason, your turn.
Oh, what defines a good anime? 1,001 things. It could be financially successful for the studio. That is a good anime. It provided its costs back. It could just be a good adaptation that manga fans were looking forward to, and it brought their favorite manga to life. That could be a good anime. It could be Garzy's Wing. It could be the thing you watch at 1 a.m. with your college buddies when you're all drunk and you have no idea what's going on. You don't even watch the other 2 episodes, but the first one just brings you so much joy and together that it provided entertainment. It could
Minus
be
1 point plus 2 points.
Oh.
yes. It could just be visually stunning. It could be something like Puperia, which is like 3 minutes long, but just a visual feast with just an illusion of story and so vague, but it is just a masterclass of animation and what some people come to anime for that is good. It could be just your next helping of the My Hero Academia season, and it just is your comfy show to watch on Saturday mornings. Like, there are so many things that make anime good. For me personally, and this is getting outside of the whole thing from a reviewer lens, how well does it accomplish what it is trying to do? If you were just trying to be a comfy show with, loveliness and just relaxing, and you nail that, I don't care if you don't have a massive plot or you do that. I mean, I do, but I'm pretending I don't. If you reach what you're going for and achieve it. If you are doing a weird philosophical trip down an isekai rabbit hole like Sonny Boy, and you evoke an emotion and tell your coming of age story, despite the complexities of it, that gets just as much value. So if someone enjoys it somewhere, it is a good anime. Just maybe not that good of an anime.
Okay. Fine. Good. Pancake.
All anime is bad. 8 points.
Why do
Just
we
save
even
us the
watch
time.
this?
Why do
Sorry,
we watch
go
it?
ahead.
Put it in the trash can. No, I'm just kidding. So, I align with Mason to a point. I think, you know, not all anime has to tick all the boxes all the time, because you might be, you know, in love with this I don't know, music producer, and they employ not the best studio to do it, but you have this awesome soundtrack that brings people in just for that portion of the show. Not oh, the visuals are amazing, not the story's amazing. It's like, you just gotta listen to the music.
Point.
Like, listen to this. I mean, artists do it all the time, and my friend recently recommended something on Netflix, and she doesn't like anime, and the animation wasn't great, but it brought people in from an album, and that's pretty interesting that somebody who would never watch anime would watch this just because of the music. And then you just have those shows that bring nostalgia, like Pokemon's not a good anime, but that brought me in to anime as a child, you know? Nobody's going to be like, oh, Ash is like this amazing character that's so deep and blah, 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 and the music's so great. No, it's like, oh, I was a little kid and this made me happy kind of feeling.
Point.
That's all I have.
Okay. All right, so we've gone to the end of 4 rounds of questioning, and the points haven't been tallied, but they will be tallied right now. So as I go through my process, and I will to eliminate 2 players are going to be eliminated. Do you want the full totals, or do you just want the who makes it through?
Oh, I think we want the totals.
Okay.
No. Oh no, I can feel the knife against my throat. I'm on the chopping block. I should have just talked I just should have kept on rambling. I should have just kept on.
Yeah, honestly, the more you
building up
ramble, the more points you accrue.
Yeah, the
Eventually,
better
I'll
you
say
are,
something intelligent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just like, let me
you know
just
what's
keep track.
funny? It wasn't intentional. So currently the points are Caroline has 13, Mason has 13, Mitsugi has 15, and Pancake has 11. There are some caveats. Caroline does have 3 points. Mason does have, he did not mention Yuasa points. Negative points for not mentioning Yuasa in good anime. Very disappointed in you for that, by the way.
That's my shtick. I couldn't have leaned into that.
You didn't lean into it. I expected that, and I wanted
sorry.
it.
I'm
I was gonna let you have it this time, and you know me. I don't let you have it normally.
I know. I was like, okay,
And,
don't talk about Haruhi. Don't talk about Yuasa. Like, everything will be okay.
All right.
And
Since it's so close, let's eliminate one person, and then we'll do another question, and then we'll eliminate the second person, and then we'll do the final question.
alrighty, let's do it. All right, so are we going for what the original question 5 was? Okay.
We got to eliminate a person.
All right, so Pancake, unfortunately, I love you, girl, but you've been eliminated.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
You gotta freeze frame now. You gotta freeze frame for
You gotta hold that
like 20 more minutes.
till the end.
There you go.
No, I'm sad.
You got to hold
All
that
right.
pose. Hold that pose for like at least 10 more minutes. She's going to try.
Are we gonna do that thing where you have like family game night and then your little brother gets out first and then he has to join your team in order to make him feel better?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with Pancake joining the Mitz team.
All right, okay. All right. So we gotta move on so that
Yeah,
Pancake
all right,
doesn't
sorry.
get her
Right.
arms and fall asleep. I think we're
Number
back to Caroline.
5. We're going to eliminate a person from this. So bring your best stuff. What show from 2021 best represents the year 2021? And
first, right?
Caroline.
Okay. I think the show from 2021 that best represents this year would be Dr. Stone Season 2.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. So let's just break down what Dr. Stone is all about. It's all about people coming back to life, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, trying to stay safe in the world that we don't think is all that safe anymore, arguing, a whole lot of just noise and having to deal with people we don't like, but we have to because if we don't survive. And it is a trying to move past the difficulties that they have already had to face. Like, they went to sleep for like 10,000 years or whatever, and now here they are trying to pretty much start again from zero. And after dealing with COVID, we had to lose some people along the way. We had to deal with a horrible, horrible election year. We had to, deal with the economy. We had to deal with the health issues. We had to deal with the anti-vaxxers. We had to do all this stuff. And here we are back to square one, basically. We are just trying to live life again. But then, of course, you still have to face some of those difficulties. And with that, I think that Dr. Stone is a very good example of what 2021 was like.
I 10 billion% agree.
All right, well, point then.
What point for that entire thing?
I mean, it was like one long version of the same point. I needed a little bit more like one-to-one correlations there, but that's fine.
Also, says that it is literally like starting from zero, doesn't say re-zero as the...
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that?
What more could I possibly say?
All right, move on.
I don't know. Mason, go.
The show from 2021 that best represents this year is To Your Eternity, because it has felt like an eternity. The show has been very up and down. This has some great arcs, it has some bad arcs. It's longer than it needs to be, but it went by so damn quickly. It's also interesting, people are still masking up, so staying inside is probably a good idea. If we just followed that from the first episode, we still would have been doing all right, so that would have been a good play. There's also this weird, inexplicable orb meme going on at the end. What's with the orb? Does anyone understand? Can anyone explain the orb to me? Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyway. No one knows the orb. Orb is consuming my life. It just was a thing. It was fine. I'm kind of looking for the sequel, but like, I'm not really that excited. So, yeah, it was fine. It was a fine year, and it was a fine show. That's all I got.
Okay.
Okay.
You stole my answer, so that sucks.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, can you make a better point than Mason if you
I mean,
want to
I
go
would
with the
say
same answer?
I would say that To Your Eternity is probably the only anime that was unique enough this year, and also watched in large enough of a quantity that the populace is probably going to think of that one first as being the most memorable. But
What about Odd Taxi, Mitzi?
Odd
No
Taxi is pretty good.
interruptions.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
I'm gonna change my answer because I have to. I'm gonna say Jobless Reincarnation is the anime that represents this year. It is both one of the top animes that began the year in the winter of 2021, and it's also one of the top animes that it's basically the top anime of this current season, which is the last season of 2021. So Jobless Reincarnation is both ushering in and taking us out of 2021. Not gonna make any jokes about how many people were jobless throughout the year because even though that's related to COVID, sort of.
Point?
But also, like, Jobless Reincarnation is probably, like, the number one watch show. It's probably the most, like, highly, like, maybe not on this podcast, but if you look at, like, the scoring online, people are watching the shit out of Jobless Reincarnation. It's probably consistently the highest rated show of the year, considering it's got multiple seasons. And so, this anime has its fingerprints all over 2021. And when you look back years and years from now, only a few anime are going to be remembered for this year. One of them might be To Your Eternity. I don't know if one of them will be Odd Taxi or not. I don't know how many people watch that, but one of them is definitely going to be Jobless Reincarnation. And besides, you're never going to see a more perverted motherfucker than that guy in an anime. You're never going to forget the shit that guy does.
Okay.
It was 2021 perverted?
Okay,
Well,
so
that guy in
Mason,
that
you're
anime is
eliminated.
Hey.
I love you, buddy.
No, it's all good.
None of you. You know what, Caroline,
Take care now.
you get an
Bye-bye then.
extra point.
Loser.
Yay!
For actually interpreting the question the same way that I did. So you get a point for that.
Cool.
Everyone else interpreted it sort of like this good anime of the year, and I'm like, no, I wanted an anime that represented the malaise of 2021, that showed you that life is just like getting better, but at the same time is just as shitty as it was, and some may be a little bit shittier.
I said it had its ups and downs.
I know, but Mitz had the point advantage on you to begin with. That's why, and so
point advantage on me.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
think
you
I
didn't
still
give me
have
the
the point
point
advantage.
Yeah,
I gave you a point for the malaise.
Okay.
Oh wait, are we fighting now?
Just
we
freeze
are
his ass.
fighting just because you don't know what a damn
I
orb
mean,
is, and you also gave Myth
you're
a point for
muted.
saying we like
I don't
big
care.
boobies.
No, you're just being mean to Mason because you've been hypnotized by fucking Mitsugi's bald ass.
Shiny
fucking
No,
head.
it's
bald
okay.
head.
It's okay. I'm content because now I
Cho
don't
kira
have
kira.
to do this nonsense. No, thank you very much. I'm
Bald.
excited. We'll sit back and watch with my popcorn.
I am beautiful and bald. Okay,
Big,
this is
bald, and beautiful.
the last question, the throwdown.
Okay. The final question for all the marbles. Ignoring any superpowers, what anime animal would you realistically want as a pet? Wait, really? That's the question? Let's go. Mitz.
I actually didn't even read this question right. I didn't even read the ignoring any superpowers part. I just saw the want as a pet part. So now I have to like quickly refigure my entire thought process, because pretty much every pet in anime seems to have some kind of a power. Otherwise, they would just be way too boring. But even without powers, there are definitely some animals that are just too wild to be kept as pets. You always hear about the people that are like, "Oh, I want to have raccoon as a pet. I want to have, you know what would be a really good pet is like, a red panda." No, the raccoon has opposable thumbs. He's gonna be up in your cabinets, ripping out all your cups, throwing shit out of your refrigerator, destroying your fucking house, and the red panda is gonna shit everywhere. So what you really need is a really polite, nice animal. And I think that they seem popular and well tested in real life. So I'm gonna go with Ein from Bebop. Would be a great animal to have as a pet. He's cute. He's low maintenance. He's low maintenance. He's smart. He'll help you with your homework. He's cute and cuddly. And he's not gonna fucking rip the pots and pans out of your cupboard and defecate all over the floor like a red panda would. And let's be honest, any Pokemon is gonna fucking destroy your house. Charmander is gonna be whacking shit with his tail. He's gonna grow too big. He's gonna evolve while he's in your hallway and get stuck there like a jelly mold in your fucking hallway. It's gonna be an absolute disaster.
How much jelly have you been eating recently?
And
Everything is a
Pikachu,
jelly mold.
Pikachu's just, I don't know. Mice just aren't good pets, and they're stupid.
And they're stupid.
They're not gonna snuggle with you.
So there. And they're stupid.
I'm trying to be less biased. All right, Caroline, go.
I will start off with the point that Mitsugi was starting to list off all the reasons why Pokemon would not make good pets. But we've already talked about this is not counting powers. So they are not going to evolve in your living room. Charizard's not going to be breathing fire. He's just going to be a cute dragon boy, and therefore does not really count. I don't see why you got the point for that. But back to my tirade. I think that Shiro from Hozuki no Reitutsu would be a wonderful pet. I know he does talk, so if we are discounting that as a power, then I guess I'll just forget about that. But regardless, he is a sassy boy. He is so funny, and even if he can't talk, that sassiness would just come right through his aura. If I do something stupid, he will roll his eyes, and I just think that he is one of the funniest characters in that show because he's just such a joyous little pup. He will take pleasure in the silliest of things, and he just loves life. He loves the afterlife, in fact. He loves it so much that he is just biting down on the damned. He's having a great time just torturing the evil souls of the afterlife, including animal abusers. What beautiful irony that he gets to go to hell and defeat animal abusers when he's just a cute little Japanese spitz ready to spit on all the people that abused animals in the real world. I think that he would make a great pet because he's also very loyal and is able to torture evil souls. And I think that he would just be a great companion.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Who?
This is not where I thought this was gonna go.
What?
being
Where do you think it was
honest.
going to go?
I didn't think I'd have Mitsugi winning the whole thing, if I'm being honest. I really didn't think that was gonna happen. Yeah. Mitz wins by a point.
Take care now.
check it out.
Bye bye then.
Oh, no.
That's because I bring the
I-
fire every fucking time, day in and day out. I'm bringing the fire always. I'm crazy. I'm exfoliating my feet with my eyeballs. No one's crazier than that. Okay.
All right. So, as your reward,
I've got your minute on the clock ready to go.
all right. So, when you're ready, start your diatribe.
Listen, I am begging the anime industry. Nothing makes me happier than more Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't even have to be Dragon Ball Z. I would take Dragon Ball. I would take literally anything. I would take a continuation of Dragon Ball, and I would take a spin-off. Preferably, I would like to have a spin-off of some characters that don't get as much attention in Dragon Ball. But I think that the anime community is just happiest when Dragon Ball's around. Dragon Ball Super was a big hit, even though it came out way after the last installment of Dragon Ball, and I didn't think it was that good, but people still fucking love it, and I see Dragon Ball Super everywhere. Little kids in high school talking about Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball comes out. Oh my god, all of a sudden, it's all over my PlayStation store. Everybody wants to buy the Dragon Ball games. That last Dragon Ball game sold a shitload of copies. It's great for anime. It's great for enthusiasm. Nothing is more enjoyable than Dragon Ball in general, but especially Goku's little baby penis. It's all over the place. You know, Akira Toriyama, he loves it. Day in and day out, he's just dreaming and drawing a little bit. No one has more experience drawing little baby penises than Akira Toriyama. Bring out more Dragon Ball, please. We need to. Akira Toriyama isn't rich enough. I haven't seen enough Dragon Ball.
No,
Okay.
I'm not going to stop him, though. He's vibing.
Okay, all right. I made my point. More Dragon Ball, please.
More baby penis. That's all I heard.
There was a lot
I
of
planned
baby
it.
penis in that argument for more Dragon Ball. More than I thought you would bring up, to be honest. But yeah,
I planned out my whole
Congratulations.
diatribe. I really want to talk about it now.
it's okay. You can diatribe to me
Any other podcast episode.
anytime. Yeah, any other podcast episode. And I'll even sit there and like let you diatribe to me at some point in the future.
Andrew, my boy, do you have any diatribe? As the host, anything to promote? Any stuff you want to do as Mitsugi basks and saunters and seductively dances in his aura of winning?
Yeah, sure. if you permit me a moment once Mitsugi is done with all of his silliness.
Oh my word.
That's not going to stop. You just have to put it out of mind.
Oh my god. Okay. Holy cow. The music is it actually playing music or am I going crazy?
That's his celebratory tune.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I have things in the background that just come on and I'm just like, what the fuck am I listening to? I'm Andrew, also known as Frigimon Fanatic in the community, I guess. I've been recently playing D&D. I play every 2 weeks. I play on stream in a campaign, and if you're listening to the podcast when it comes out on its normal release day of Wednesday, I'll be playing this evening. And if you're watching the live stream now, I will be playing this Wednesday, December 8th, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/Gambit, Gambet. Funny enough, I found out before I came on this episode that one of the people in my D&D group is an old listener of the podcast. And they were just like going crazy that I was like, I'm going on this podcast. They're like, are you kidding me? Are you what really? And I'm like, yeah.
cool.
I'm that Andrew. He's like, wait, that makes sense why your voice sounds so familiar and all this stuff. And I'm just like, what is going on? The world is such a small world. So just another further example, like 5 episodes post episode 600 where we talked about how like interconnected we all are. Just another example of how small this world is and how this podcast brings people together. So that's great. So come check me out. It's really fun time. We're doing a milestone, so we're either going to die or crush it. Either way, it's going to be spectacular. I play a bard. I kind of sing. Actually, I do sing. Not very great, but it's still very fun to listen to. It's a good time. Otherwise, you can follow me on all my socials at Frigimon Fanatic, FRIGIMON That's on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and all that kind of crazy stuff. So check me out there. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do something similar like this in the future again. I look forward to seeing you all in some capacity, and I love you all.
We need
Yeah.
to,
Thank you
get
so much,
AA
my guy.
Applause
podcast
for Friggy.
Going with
Golf
Andrew.
clap.
I'm not that great of a DM, but if you ever do want to, I think I could pull something out.
Andrew, thanks for being our host today. You are, as always, amazing, and we love you.
I will post links in the YouTube thing when this drops, so go check out Andrew. It's just a click away. And yeah, my guy, MVP.
Bye, guys.
No. Let's go to the news thing, and then we can. Oh no, he did it before I could do it.
Don't make those noises.
Nobody look at the screen. Nobody look. Nothing's happening. Okay, good. Problem solved.
That was chaotic.
That was.
Okay, let's get into our weekly trivia question. In the anime Sonny Boy, what was the name of the monkey who hit 80 home runs in a single season, smashing the record? And we will reveal the answer coming up after the news break.
Anime Addicts, Mitsugi's here, and I'm bringing you your anime news break. Getting us started off, more COVID-19 news back from the grave, as we haven't talked about COVID in quite a while, but it looks like New York City now has cases of the Omicron COVID-19 variant within its region after a man who was tested positive with the Omicron variant went to Anime NYC, met up with a bunch of friends, most of which are now also testing positive. And some are saying that Anime NYC was actually the start of the, so to speak, spread in New York City. So not much else to say here other than just be careful, guys. Interesting tidbits as we continue to follow the story of COVID-19. Next up, more familiar anime, Golden Kamuy is getting a 4th season. So a lot of people like Golden Kamuy. From Chief Director Seiki Sugawara of D-Frag. From Studio Brains Base, Golden Kamuy is back again with a 4th season to continue adapting Satoru Noda's historical adventure manga, which began in Young Jump in August of 2014. There are 17 million copies in circulation of the total 24 copies that are out. The 24th one's going to be coming out on December 21st. So, it looks like the first 3 seasons were produced by Geno Studio, so if this might be a somewhat of a change, since this one is being done by Brains Base, so we'll have to see how this pans out for Golden Kamuy going forward. Next up, Uma Musume takes the crown for Google Play Best of 2021. So Google Play has awards, and the Japan division announced the results of the Best of 2021 awards. Cygames' Uma Musume Pretty Derby was declared the top editorial choice and won the Most Excellent Choice award. So, in the user vote category, the Most Excellent award also went to Uma Musume Pretty Derby. The top 5 was Sengokushi Shinsen, Toho, Danmaku Kagura, Blue Archive, and Pokemon Unite. So if you're a big fan of Uma Musume, it's pretty popular still in Japan, as it just won the top app, I guess, award from Google Awards. And next up and lastly, it looks like some more awards are coming out, and this is going to continue because we're now at the end of 2021. But Tokyo Revengers, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, and Uma Musume Pretty Derby again were the winners of the Yahoo Japan Search Awards in the anime, film, and game categories, noting that these are the most popular searched things in Japan, apparently, throughout the year. So Uma Musume just appearing yet again as being extremely popular. Demon Slayer was 3rd this year, Jujutsu Kaisen was 2nd, and in the film category, Rurouni Kenshin Kai Shushou, the final, and some other properties were winners as well. So the awards are decided based on the number of searches for a particular term compared to the year before. So the people, products, etc., they do a year-over-year comparison, and that's how they determine the sort of award based on trending. This is Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. I'm sure more 2021 awards and tops of whatever to come, but for now, it's time to get back to the podcast. All right, time for some YouTube. I wonder what kind of horrible commercials I get subjected to this time.
Pizza or salad?
Oh, it's this fucking guy with his abs.
Which one do you think I'm having for dinner tonight?
Who really gives a
Not
shit?
this. Definitely not this rabbit food. Why?
Skip.
Because
At Tommy John, we
YouTube, why do you hate me?
Comfortable underwear. And
Stuff that underwear in your mouth so you stop talking. Before you check out every episode of this podcast, I bet you're really missing having to look at dudes' abs or see bulges in men's underwear simply because you're trying to check out some anime. But of course you don't, and we won't torture you with commercials like that. Instead, you can help this podcast remain ad-free by heading over to aapodcast.com/join or Patreon/AAApodcast. You won't have to listen to any horrible commercials, and you'll be getting 8 exclusive extra podcast episodes a month, our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, and our after party episodes, just for you. Again, if you want to help us remain ad-free, go to aapodcast.com/join or Patreon. And now let's get back to the podcast.
Hey, this is Joe Zeej, your voice of Claude from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Welcome back to the Anime Addicts podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. I think we should get Mason to take his hair down and just throw it around and headbang to this. It's perfect for it.
Oh.
Get it?
It's too sensual. It's too. Oh no.
Oh, he's gonna do
He's
it.
doing it anyway.
He's doing it. Look at that hair. Oh my God! Look at him.
Word.
Oh my.
I fucking love it.
Oh,
I swoon. I swoon.
So long. It's so long.
Oh my God! Thank you for that.
What really does
You're
it
welcome.
is having the sides completely shaved. You got
Oh
like,
yeah, it's.
It's like a mullet or something. What do you
Don't
call
insult
that?
the man's manly trophy hair.
How is that an insult?
You called it a mullet.
So mullets are coming back, baby.
Oh my God! Help us all. Okay, trivia question. In the anime Sonny. Oh shit. Oh, come on. The 80s was so good. In the anime Sonny Boy, what was the name of the monkey who hit 80 home runs in a single year, smashing the record? Steroid monkey.
It's actually funny. At the at Anime NYC, I was meeting up with some listeners, and one of the guys I had to meet up with, I was like, "Oh, I'm like outside of this room, whatever. Just come meet me there." And just like people aren't used to being like, "Oh, he has long hair," so like he saw me and just didn't think I was me because he's like, "Oh, I thought you had short hair." It's true, I normally do, but the game is up. I've been exposed, so now you all know the terrible truth.
Well, it's just very lovely.
Mason could wear it in a ponytail. Yeah, pretty much. It's that and man bunning is my life.
You're like the
I think you should
anti-myth.
try space buns next.
Space buns?
Yeah, it's just the 2 buns.
No, I think he needs to do a mohawk of little tiny buns all the way.
Oh
down
my
the
God,
back.
that'd be great.
Is it like a pack of cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, it's like a pack of cinnamon rolls, like some bucciolotti buns going on.
Bucciatini.
All right,
Yeah.
Well, in order to have time to have this school lesson ultimately, which will be known as Sonny Boy, let's get to the mailbags right now. How about that?
Okay, so if you would want to send a... Oh,
Gotta dance. Time to dance.
Anime.
Mailbag.
If you would like to send an anime mailbag, you can send it to aapodcast.com. Just click on the mailbag button, and we will pretty much read out anything. Does not have to be a question, does not have to be a talking point. It could be something like what Jack Calabasa sent us, asking for something more, production side. Thank you for all that you guys do, he says. Recently, Stitcher took off most of your prior episodes, leaving only your most recent 3 episodes and ridding the remaining 600 or so. I was wondering if you guys could put those back up as I'm still going through your backlog. I am also aware that the first 150 episodes are not available. Thank you for everything. Mitsugi?
So after the last survey we did on this, which I'll grant you was a couple years ago, the most common listening methods by a long margin were it was Apple Podcasts, and then followed by just like this wide fragmentation of different Android apps, including Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, Overcast FM, and Podcast Addict in pretty much that order. So, and I checked all of them today, and they're all 100% normal except Stitcher. So they're doing something funky over there at Stitcher, which is not anything new. It's happened before. I've had this exact question like four times in like the last decade or whatever. Stitcher's just weird. They do their own thing. I don't know what they're doing. Go somewhere else. I also don't think Stitcher's by a long shot the best service to use for podcasts. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to include this mailbag because it's a very nice mailbag, and we love when you guys alert us like, hey, something's funky going on with some of the uploads. And really, we don't go site by site to monitor this. So if you're listening on Stitcher, we do our mass upload, and sometimes it just, like Mitt said, gets funky. So if you're like, I wonder why there's not an episode here, maybe they didn't upload it, it's probably more likely that one service got funky. So we hate to be like, just
or
look
Mitsugi had a busy week.
because I know some people use Stitcher and that's their thing, but it's not always easy to like track them all. So sorry.
All right. So Sajintha writes, Konbanwa in hiragana, so thank you for the nice touch. AAA hosts, for the longest time, and the greatest question has been ignored by the show. Nay, the whole anime community. What is the greatest beard in anime? Also including the best mustache and sideburns. We also need a nomination for best use of fake or imaginary facial hair. May the best face fuzz win.
And coincidentally, Louis the cat in our Twitch chat said that Mason now needs a mustache. So
And a cutoff. And a cutoff, they said.
I don't know about a cutoff, but at the very least, they want mustache.
And the shirt with
Mason.
the sleeves cut off. We'll make it a look.
Those shorts from the '80s where they're like above your knee.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you guys see me behind the scenes. I'm wearing extremely short shorts right now, so I'm like halfway there.
Well, I mean,
But,
you're like 12 feet tall, so of course the shorts look short.
They're called shorts. I don't know what you want from me. I'll tell you what I'll deliver, though. I'll tell you my list of the best facial hair in anime. Best beard. So, we're talking about everything. Everything's fuzzy on the face. Kaseki, the old guy from Dr. Stone. He's got a big old bushy thing, and he's an absolute tank.
Oh, we love him.
We do.
Mugihito.
Oh, he's the character helps make the beard, but the beard also helps make the character. Best mustache. So this is the hair between the lip and the nose kind of thing. I couldn't decide between the suave strength of Alex Louis Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist or Kamaji, the old like spider dude in Spirited Away who has the big old bushy thing. They're both pretty great. The best sideburns I gave to Claws from Blood Blockade Battlefront. He's got those like massive. He's the guy with the glasses, kind of almost like in the Butler or like a vest outfit. He's pretty suave. The best fake facial hair I had to give it to Endeavor from My Hero Academia because it's all fire. Like that's kind of cool.
Pretty good.
And I gave an honorable mention to Sanji from One Piece for the extra curly eyebrows. Those are kind of cool. So that's my list.
Caroline, it's ladies first.
Oh, okay. So for the best beard, I'm going for the Santa Claus Titan in Attack on Titan. You know, the guy that nearly eats Armin and does eat Eren. Spoilers. Sorry, it was episode like 5 or something.
Gosh, Caroline, come on.
Yeah, so if you have not seen the Santa Claus meme Titan, you should go see him. He has a wonderful beard. Best mustache, I'm going to give it to Bang from One Punch Man. He's a very, very fuzzy mustache, similar to Kamaji, and I think it's all to be... Actually, I'm not entirely sure. It's not really, like, spidered-like, going
it's
out
more
like this.
Angular.
It's more like... It's bushy. It's a bushy
Bang?
mustache. Yeah,
Bang?
so I don't know.
I thought his
he
was, like, more, like, angular and pointy.
I don't know. It's just... I don't know. Look up a picture. I don't know what you're thinking.
I don't know what I'm thinking either. One Punch Man Bang. Silver Fang, if you don't know. Yeah, I guess it is kind of bushy. Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good mustache. That's a good mustache.
The best sideburns, I'm going to give it to Akira Fudo from the 1972 Devilman. He has some very prominent sideburns. And my best fake beard award will go to Bonzu Pippin Patalopsicopoulos from the third from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Fuck. What kind of name is
AKA,
that?
wasn't that just Aang with like a white like?
He took, I think he took like Appa's fur. He took Appa's fur. He put it into like a rope and put it on his head, and also made a beard out of it. And he called himself Bonzu Pippin Patalopsicopoulos III.
At one point, just for you, like saying that last name twice successfully. So I don't know how often you practice that before this episode, but
I mean, you don't. If it's on your mind all the time, you don't need to practice it out loud.
Oh, so you often think of this?
I mean, I think of Bonzu Pippin Patalopsicopoulos III, as well as his granddaughter June Pippin Patalopsicopoulos.
Oh my!
Wow, do you like say?
I'm the daily.
Do you say that like for an hour before the podcast as like a vocal warm up?
No, she's
I
sitting
suppose
at
you
breakfast,
could.
like eating her
Pippin
cereal.
Patalopsicopoulos. I guess it would work.
I could see it. You got like unique New York unique. You know, you say all the classics, but you haven't got to the Avatar warm-ups.
Or if you're Steve Bloom, his self-proclaimed like sessions in the car where he's just like rah, rah, making like horrible faces and eating his golden throat candies.
Yeah, I gotta open the mouth. Open
Yeah,
it with
yeah,
a
yeah.
big enunciation. Anyway, moving on.
Ladies are still first. Do you have a bearded character you want to call out, Pancake?
No, I don't. I don't have a beard. I have Rockley's eyebrows, for sure. We can't forget eyebrows. The biggest and the bushiest. Mustache is gonna have to go to Armstrong because does he have a mouth under it? We don't know, really. It's mostly mustache, and he's got his little curly Q on his head. It's great and it's shiny. So those are my two call outs.
I didn't write this down, but like, what about Boba Bo 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 Bo?
Oh, his nose
Boba
hair.
Boba Boba Bo.
I think
Bobo.
he wins because I guess that counts as like a mustache
And
nose
the
hair.
afro is no slouch.
Honestly, I'm impressed.
All right. So here are some good beards in anime. Jigen has a pretty good beard, and sideburns as well. Master Roshi has a pretty nice beard. It's a pretty bushy beard too, and long. It's more of like almost like what the hell is the Gandalf type beard. Yupa from Naushka, the fighter guy with all the leather.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good beard. Jet Black, that's timely. He's got a pretty good
Oh, yeah.
beard. The captain from Space Battleship Yamato has a pretty good beard. And that guy's he's like all beard. That's like his thing. If you shave that character, you wouldn't recognize who that was, even if he had his uniform on. And Netero from Hunter x Hunter. He's got a pretty great beard. So
The chairman.
the chairman, the old man. So it's pretty good stuff. There's a lot of characters in anime with like big beards, and Mugi Hito plays all of them.
Yep. Every single last one of them.
Well, thank you for the mailbag, Sujinther. And as Caroline said, go over to AAApodcast.com to leave yours, and we will answer it the best we can. Oh, and of course, Jack for the good mailbag as well. Almost forgot. And now it is time to get into the review of Sonny Boy. And if you are just listening to this, that is Sonny, what old people will call young people, like,
Sonny.
Sonny, Sonny, Sonny Boy. This is a summer 2021 show. I passed this on episode 587. You can watch this on Funimation or Hulu. It is a Madhouse show, which needs no introduction. It is directed by Shingo Natsume, who needs no introduction, but they've done some cool things, and it is an original work. It is a sci-fi, psychological coming-of-age series where this classroom is uprooted from their middle school lives, and the students get flung across time and space to another dimension, and they have to fight to survive. Think Lord of the Flies, but a lot more surreal. So, all that said, let's get into initial expectations. Caroline, coming into Sonny Boy, what were you preparing for?
Well, I was expecting it to be very good. I knew it was at the top of your list for impressions, and I was going to put it on mine, but I knew for a fact that this was going to be your show.
This is
So
before you
wanted-
started stealing shows. I thank you.
Okay, I stole shows once.
I'm kidding. Boji.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but at least I passed it. Anyway, so I was expecting it to be good. I was very interested in the show, although when the season was going on, I noticed that while people praised the show for, how it looked, how it sounded, and everything like that, a lot of people were experiencing a little bit of difficulty watching it for one reason or another. So I was also going in with a bit of apprehension, I suppose. But I knew at the very least it was going to be at least a decently made show.
Nice. Mitsugi.
I figured it would be good, given that it's Madhouse. Shingo Natsume is a really experienced director, knows what he's doing, so you kind of got to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think I had heard Mason say some good things about it, honestly. So I think my expectations. I didn't know what it was about, but I think my general consensus was that it was probably going to be pretty good. I normally like Madhouse pretty well. I've liked Madhouse for a long time, and so I'm usually feeling pretty good when I walk into a Madhouse show.
How about Pancake?
I had pretty high expectations. I had heard really good things about it, and I don't really read a whole lot of reviews, so just seeing that it was getting praise spiked my interest, because I don't watch a ton of anime just to watch anime.
You're better than that.
I'm not forced to watch everything.
Nice. Anything else, or?
No?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I obviously passed the show a while back. Even before I watched a single episode, the promotional images and character designs had me hooked. And knowing it was an original work, albeit influenced by The Drifting Classroom, written by One Punch Man and Aka 13 director Natsume, had me super excited. Definitely watching an episode or two, I'm like, this show seems ambitious. Will it be like Wonder Egg Priority, where it was setting up a lot of stuff and felt hard? I wasn't too sure how well we'd get a payoff for it, but I was willing to take a gamble at the chance that we would get something special. So that said, Caroline, would you recommend Sonny Boy, and just give your general spoiler-free impressions on it?
This is a little bit difficult because I think I would recommend Sonny Boy. I mean, we've already said that it is of quality. But the thing is that you have to be the right audience for Sonny Boy. If you are somebody that does not mind not being spoon-fed anime, which I'm not saying that as like a mean way of saying it, because I like being spoon-fed anime. If you don't mind having to think a little bit harder of what's going on, really paying attention and trying to, work for what this anime has to offer, then this will be a good watch, I think. It does have interesting ideas. It has interesting worlds. The powers are interesting as well. It just doesn't tie it up in a bow for everyone, especially me.
Okay, nice. Mitz, your thoughts?
It's hard to recommend this anime to people. It's just too abstract. I think that the level of effort is too high for most people that are casually watching anime or half distracted or just unwilling to research like what the hell's going on. Most of the people that I talk to that watch anime, I'm like, oh, what's your favorite? What anime are you watching? What's your favorite anime? It's always like One Piece or My Hero or it's something like that. It's never. Maybe if some guy was like, oh, I love watching Technolize and Lane and these other stickier shows. Sonny Boy it's just too abstract for people. I just don't think that the general audience is really going to be into it. You kind of have to be you have to be that sort of person that's looking for that kind of thing. It'd probably be a pretty good show if somebody wanted to cover some specific topic in a literature class or maybe an English class in school. You could watch it, dissect it, write about it, etc. Because it's a lot, it at least appears to be deeper than some of your other shows. But the average person is probably going to give up on this by episode 3 or 4.
Yeah. Pancake, lay it on us. Tell us how it is.
I can't recommend this because it is so niche in nature that a general person's not going to enjoy it. I wouldn't go up to somebody and say, I think you would like this. This is a strange show, blah, blah, blah. Somebody coming up to me saying, give me a show. I need to get into anime. It would not be this. Because I feel like you would find this on your own if that's what you're into. This is one of those that you fall into because you like the director or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really cared about the mass general populace of anime watchers when recommending stuff, because I would not recommend this to shotgun style to hit everyone, but I think this is really good and I really like it, and I think for a lot of people, maybe like myself, I would strongly recommend it, because this isn't a show just of rug pulls, but more just the bottom just drops out from under you constantly, and it's endlessly more frightening and larger than you expected. This show is just a massive avenue to discuss capitalism, societal relationships from rivals, friends, acquaintances, or the lack of them, rules imposed by humanity, culture, or self-imposed, hobbies, escapism, the meaning of existence, through the fulcrum of the supernatural happenings. And this is not a breezy watch. It's not agreeable for all palates, but it's way more like rewarding than a lot of the drivel we're fed. And yeah, you could say, oh, if you pay attention, it's great. But even then, it's still kind of a weird sticking point that will kind of unsettle you and calm you at the same time. And it just has a very weird vibe that I love. I love challenging media that offers like a splendid view if you're willing to make like the tumultuous hike to understand all these weird surrealist concepts. But I don't know, it's very case by case, and I think it's a really cool show, and I really like it, and I want to talk about it with spoilers, so let's do that.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
Man, this
What the
show
hell is this anime about, Mason?
so cool.
Please
So, like,
explain.
You know what they always say? If it's hard to understand, then it's probably an allegory about adolescence.
Listen,
That's what I
am just
guessed.
a sucker
Me
for
too.
like coming of age stories, the Denpa genre or tag, I should say. Like, this show is not about this group that are in these weird worlds with weird rules. It's not about, you know, how they survive. It's not about how they escape. It's not about how they solve and answer each world, but rather it's how the collective group of students as a entity and individuals learn and grow and change from the confrontations that they go up against. And you just take the metaphysical concepts of God and time travel and alternate realities, and you're just like, these are just kind of very loose ways for trying to explain what's going on, but it's more of just how do these individual characters grow and change and become the people that they become. So yeah, it's a show where the people go to Amazon and get boxes delivered by cats. What more do you need?
Okay, it literally took me like 10 episodes of this 12-episode show to realize that it was the cats bringing boxes that
Well,
had
don't-
the objects that she brought.
Okay, true.
And
The twist isn't that the cats are bringing the boxes. The twist is that the cats are the ones with the powers, and
I
she
know.
is nothing.
Like, yeah, exactly. This what?
Yeah.
I mean, I was lost pretty much with this anime from the very beginning. It doesn't really make much of an effort to explain itself. It just keeps morphing into something different, and I'm not
It is
really sure what the.
certainly-
I'm just not sure what the clues were in the show that really were there to put me back on track with like my understanding. Maybe that's because I watched them late at night or whatever, but you know, I don't think I fell asleep very many times during this. But you know, like when they're jumping off like the roof of the school or whatever into like the black void and they end up on like the beach, I'm like, the fuck is going on with this shit? It's like crazy.
The first
Yeah.
6 episodes are very much about raising questions way more than answers. And it's interesting, but it's kind of unrewarding during that section because you're just like I kind of know what's going on, but I don't know why. I don't know why I should care. And you're just like waiting for the answer to come, and it just doesn't until the mid-season finale of part 6, where you learn God is the enemy. They've all been shunted from their main timelines, and they are just the unwanted children of the world, pushed off into this ethereal existence to waste away as their true originals live the life that they were supposed to have.
Here's the thing. I noticed this thought coming up for myself whenever I was watching an episode of this show. I felt like I was always being thrown into the end part of a plot point. Like, oh, the cats are bringing the objects? Like, well, for example. And that happened quite a bit. It's like, wait a minute. Like, this is a thing now? They're actually able to choose the worlds they are now in? What?
They're
How did that happen?
meowing.
So I feel like I was always getting the ending point of a
Yeah.
plot point instead of the beginning. I mean, sometimes we might have gotten the beginning and then gotten to the end, but there was never a middle. You
It's
know,
like-
there was never an easy, like, they never made sure that, like, you understood that this was now a thing.
It felt like you were never ever actually given information. It felt more like they're just throwing things at you over and over again and never like tying it up. Just
Mhm.
and the more you try to make sense of it, the less it makes sense.
Welcome to life, buddy. Like, I think
But I
that's
don't
very
like
much the... I know, people don't always like this. And if you might not even like how they solve some of the things. Like, this is very much written from, you know, the way that Shingo Natsume wanted to address these societal things. From You know, how do you handle the people who just want to stay inside and not go out and see the world? You rip the curtains off and push them out there. How do you deal with the force of the universe not wanting you and realizing everything is pointless? You take solace in it. Like, the way they answer things are very nebulous and might not even agree. And there's not even an answer to everything, because that's the whole the easy, you can call it lazy writing, and you're like, well, that's the answers that no one knows, and there's 1,000 ways, and it's all about what you get out of it. And I think at the end of the day, if you found the characters and their struggles interesting, you might enjoy the show. If you were like, how do they get out? How do they solve this new world and the problems? I'm not going to say you're missing the point, because the show is clearly about that, but it's also not what the show is trying to say. So if you're invested in that plot line of it, you're not going to get the answers that the show is trying to give you. It sounds like I'm defending it.
Like, when you watch a show, you get invested in the characters. And when you have characters that just show up and are left unresolved by the end, what was the point?
The characters were so good. All the characters.
Oh,
were
yeah.
good.
I mean, some characters were better than others. I really loved Mitsuho, the girl with the cats. She is a vibe and a half, and I love her. And then, well, because you also got Nozomi, who just dies, just suddenly. Like,
Yeah.
no lead up, no exit, which I actually, you can appreciate that, because that doesn't really happen very often. But then you also have characters like, I think his name was like Hoshi, because he had like a star underneath his eye. He just shows up and leaves.
But his resolution that we think might be his resolution is fantastic.
What is his resolution?
He kills himself in the sense of he's the one who makes that. We don't know this, but we believe that he's the one who made that chair that like erased the brain that told him everything, and kind of killed his self. And he woke up new and accepted the world for what it was, because he was no longer being told everything, and he could finally be free and accept and not hear the cacophony of the madness. So that's the guy that Rajdhani was telling you about in like the second to last episode or the last episode.
Yeah, but I remember that part, but like I did not see any of those clues that you apparently put together and got that conclusion.
It's a lot of interpretation. Do I know 100% that that's how it was? I can't say I do, but I'm okay with that. I thought it was nice. And Rajdhani is a boss. Mizuho, as you said, is fantastic. Nagara is a whiny, mopey little shutting guy. And,
I can't do anything.
Yeah, and his growth is part of it, and kind of that's what it's all about. And Asakaze is not too bad, but he's also not. I love all the characters.
He's
They're
an
really
asshole.
cool, and I love their facial expressions in the show. I think the very simple character designs leads to very naturalistic and subtly expressive characters, and not in an anime like I'm happy. Let me go happy face 1,000% off the charts and. It's tough. Like, I think from the posture to the facial expressions, like, the interactions between them and their inner thoughts really made Sonny Boy shine.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, each of the characters in the anime were very human. It felt more human than the normal copy and paste anime character with these just over exaggerations.
So absolutely. And it makes them maybe not as iconic. You know, you're not going to be like, wow, this is going to be on someone's favorite tattoo with like a Deku type thing. But like, there's a very grounded realism to it that I enjoyed, despite it being obviously very anime.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that aspect of it. I wish we had more characters that are quote unquote forgettable in the sense that they're human.
I think probably my favorite thing about this anime was just the way that the characters are designed. They're very Madhouse. I loved how. What was the one character? Was it Nozomi, the girl with the long hair? She's very like.
No, Mizuho. Nozomi's the short brown hair with the coolest eyes ever.
So like they just like some of the characters, they all look very different. They're they're very expressive, and they just look different than most anime characters. You know, like a lot of the times when you're watching anime, it's the same face with different hair, different eyes. Not all that expressive, etc. But like Madhouse just does a great job with how the characters themselves look. They look like real people. As Pancake said, they feel very human. But the fact that they look very human is part of that. And some of the characters are just it makes them more like relatable and sympathetic when you're watching it, because it's easier to associate with something that is recognizable, and you're gonna identify a lot more with someone who could be like living down the street as opposed to, an anime character that looks like an alien that hopped off a ship with like a human looking face. So I think that was the big part of it. So, and then Madhouse just crushes it. It's not the first time you've seen character designs like that coming out of Madhouse, but it's good to see that it consistently works for them.
Yeah, they were all like a little warbly and a little trippy, but it fit the world, and it was kind of the crux that succeeded in me engaging with the characters. And I think another point that it really succeeded in was the music, which is to say the lack of it. Like, I've never seen a show since, like, well, it's not a show, but a movie, No Country for Old Men, that is so comfortable to be, like, vacant and devoid of sound. Like, often filled with just, like, ocean or forest sounds, if that, like, or just in space. It's just so deafening. And there's no opening, like, in the ED. It's just, like, a simple, like, credit roll to, like, a punk music tune that I love how they did an acoustic version for the finale. Like, the way it didn't use sound, I thought really made things hit.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say that too, because you can even tell, like in several points of the show, you're like, hey, this kind of sounds weird because there's no music behind it, but it also kind of makes you pay more attention to what's going on. And then, especially, I can't remember what episode it was, but I had a lot of great just music, not just, orchestral background, whatever. It's like really good songs put to this anime that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, they had like Toe when they were tripping. They had this beautiful song that was kind of chipper and upbeat when like presenting like the funeral, station for a certain character. Like it was so tastefully done, and I just really like those styles of music too. So maybe I'm just
definitely being void of sound at points really made the other sounds stand out. Like hearing the crickets at night on the island, and when there was a song, it made you pay attention and really feel that song a little bit more, or what have you.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point. I mean, I feel like I could talk about the show for hours and explain nothing and like get across nothing. Like I feel like it's just very much I just tried to combine vibe and mood, and I just said vood. It's very much just a feeling I get when I watch the show that I can try to explain why, but it just hits me and I enjoy it, and I don't know if I have much more to say other than I like.
Mason like.
I like it good.
Well, we're going pretty.
Unfortunately, I just found myself getting frustrated though, because
I
with this show, it's purposely unfocused on the things that you would typically want to focus on. Like you want to focus on how are they going to get out of this world, and like what becomes of characters at the end. And by the end, you have no idea what's going on with the other characters. Like the girl in the cast, what happened to her?
The girl in the cast.
The one with the mind reading.
Tsubasa? That was I loved her power.
Yeah.
Yeah, it jumped around.
Nozomi just dies, and then she not brought up again.
Yeah, and like the whole thing with the cats, like I wanted that looked into more. It's like once you start to focus on something, they switch to something else. It's like, well, I was not finished with that, but okay.
I felt like enough of those got like closed at the end with like subtle little leanings and meanings and all sorts of things where I didn't feel left out, but I wasn't looking for a prologue and Nozomi went on to do this and Mizuho went on to do this, and like I felt like I got where the characters needed to be. But that's just me.
I'm ready to score it. We're running pretty long, and we're not going to stick to 2 hours, but it'd be nice to give it a shot. So I'll just give my final thoughts. I didn't really enjoy Sonny Boy. I'm too exhausted at the end of the day to like be deconstructing society. This is something I probably would have been better watching this like very slowly, episode by episode, as opposed to trying to cram it all in at the last minute. But if you really want to deconstruct the society, is that movie we watched the other night? Take away people's cell phones. Like eliminate cell phones from society and watch society end. Would you even be able to find your way to like just to anywhere in the city without fucking Google Maps? The whole world would end immediately. It'd be ridiculous. So that would be interesting. But I didn't really understand Sonny Boy very much. It doesn't. It's not really necessarily the fault of the anime. I just didn't really find it all that enjoyable. I'm not watching anime right now for like the deep meanings. I'd honestly rather watch. I'd rather watch like. I think I'd rather watch Riding Bean 10 times, just like over and over again, than watch Sonny Boy. That's not to say Sonny Boy is like a shitty anime. It's just not for me. Just not where I am right now in my life, I think. There are a lot of things to like about Sonny Boy. I think the animation is perfectly fine. I think it's direct. It seems to be directed well, and everything in it is intentional. But for me, it just wasn't really the show for me. And so I'm gonna give it 2 steroid monkey home runs out of 5.
Nice. And that was honestly, when I like passed the show, kind of what I was expecting. I'm like, this is a good show that everyone's gonna like bounce off of and digest differently. So I'm excited. Pancake, lay it on us.
So this was not an anime for me. This is not my style of anime, but I think it was very, very well done. And for the audience that enjoys things like this, I think it was perfect. I think it satiated that hunger for something where that's thought-provoking and different and breaks the mold of anime. Even though it wasn't for me, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Hey, nice.
Voids, because it's an above-average anime, even though it's not my taste. I still have to appreciate it for what it is.
She talks a lot of shit, but then when it's time to throw the cards down, she's got a straight flush.
We love it. We love to hear it happen. Caroline, what you got?
I've already, made my point that it is definitely a well-made show, definitely has its audience. But unfortunately for me, it's just weighing out the quality of this show over my enjoyment of it, like that discussion we've already had.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't hit the points that I wanted it to. And I know that's not the point of this anime, but I will say that I feel like there are ways to make an anime that would satisfy my taste and also satisfy the taste of people who want those the symbolism and the allegories that Mason found, and make it in a more understandable way, which I realize is not for everyone. It would be for me, but it's not for everyone, and vice versa. And with that, there are certain things I really did enjoy about this show, unfortunately just did not get the focus. And with that, I think I would just have to give it 3 Amazon cat delivery people that are probably going to be very overwhelmed this holiday season. We should be very grateful to them and nice to them out of 5.
Nice. The world is scary and not inviting, and it's full of all this unknown mystery that always don't have a great answer. And you have the power to make an impact. Maybe not on a global scale, maybe you can't change the world, but in your bubble, you have the ability to make a change. And that's your role as you grow up and provide to the ones close to you. And if you're an edgy nihilist like me, this show might tick some of your belief boxes. Because even if nothing matters in this world, once in a while, cool things do happen. And I think this show was one of them. I'm going to give it 4.5 traveling animal companions out of 5. This was a fantastic show, not for everyone, but it was for me. And I hope someone else out there enjoys it. So there you go.
Very, very all over the place this time.
I love it. I love it.
What is that average score come out to then?
I'm too lazy for math right now. Someone else can do it while
what did you give it, Caroline?
I gave it a 3.
3 plus 2 plus 4.5 plus 4. Do it. It'll be on the awards thing later. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this fantastic discussion on everything, not just Sonny Boy, but
it's like a 3.4.
Awesome. Thank you. Is that a 3.5 roundup? I think so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks to Andrew at Frigimon Fanatic. Feel free to follow him, as well as the podcast Twitter at AAA Podcast, as well as the podcast TikTok, Anime Addicts Anonymous Pod. It is very cool. Caroline does a ton of great work for it and
Thank you.
deserves more love. If you really want bad takes, you can follow me on Twitter at Macy Pacey, but the Facebook, the Discord, that is the place to go. So many clubs, so many happening events, as well as AAApodcast.com for all of the things, as well as our bonus content. We're going to be doing Vanitas No Cart next week. I have no idea how to spell that because it changes on every site you look, but I'm excited to see what it's all about. Pancake, thanks for joining in. Any last thoughts?
Nope. Thanks
Anyone
for having
else?
me. See you guys soon.
Yeah. Have a good one,
Deuces.
everyone. See you next week.
Bye-bye.